Hi, everyone. Welcome to the 700 Club. I'm Andrew Knox in for Gordon today. A shocking sight in Israel over the weekend. 3 more hostages come out of Gaza after being starved in captivity by Hamas.
Well, some said they looked like living skeletons, while President Trump compared them to Holocaust survivors. Chris Mitchell brings us the story from Jerusalem.
Surrounded by Hamas gunmen, Ohad Ben-Ami, Or Levy, and Eli Sharabi were led to a stage, made to recite a propaganda message by Hamas, and then released to the Red Cross. The ceremony included Gazan women blessing Hamas fighters with candy.
It's absolutely heartbreaking. I mean, don't get me wrong, our heart was full of joy to see them coming back home. But it was absolutely heartbreaking to see how they've been treated, seeing on their face the hell they've been through, being starved, being abused.
Israel's Deputy Foreign Minister Sharon Haskell told CBN News Hamas is not the only one to blame.
Knowing how the international community, the United Nations organization, have failed the Israelis, that have failed the Jews over and over again, the Red Cross, who did not fight to visit them, to look after them, to provide them medications they needed or the help, the medical treatment they needed.
It also prompted a warning from President Trump speaking to reporters on Air Force One.
They were in horrible condition. They were emaciated. It looked like many years ago, the Holocaust survivors. And I don't know how much longer we can take that. You know, at some point, we're going to lose our patience.
We have again seen the monsters of Hamas. These are the same monsters who slaughtered our citizens and abused our hostages. I say to them again, they will pay the price.
Israeli President Isaac Herzog told the BBC the men were kept in tunnels throughout their entire captivity. They returned to horrific news about their families. Eli Sharabi didn't know that his wife and 2 daughters had been killed in their safe room on October 7th. And Or Levy didn't know his wife had been killed at the Nova Music Festival. Medical authorities say the freedmen suffer from malnutrition and heart disorders. Israeli media ran before and after photos to show the hostages' shocking deterioration. The daughter of released hostage Ohad Ben-Ami summed up the feeling of many in Israel.
He lost much of his weight, but not his spirit. My father is strong, and I admire him. He survived hell. The return of the hostages yesterday leaves no room for doubt. They all must return.
Netanyahu and Trump are reportedly agreed on Israel's conditions for the second phase of the ceasefire deal. That includes Hamas leaders going into exile, their military disarming, and all of the rest of the hostages being freed. Netanyahu is making clear what he sees for the future of Gaza and the hostages.
Hamas will not be there. We will eliminate Hamas and we will return our hostages.
Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Thank you, Chris. Those were infuriating and heartbreaking images. If you really took a look at those pictures, to see the condition of those hostages and to think of the trauma they've already endured, and then one man finds out his wife and 2 daughters were killed in a safe room. Another hostage finds out his wife was killed at the festival. Now it's a whole new level of trauma they're dealing with. Does the international community care? Does the United Nations care? Something tells me with President Trump in office, they will begin to care, or at least pay greater attention. In other news here at home, despite opposition, a very busy President Trump says he's only getting started on his assault on government waste. John Jessup has that story and more from our CBN News Bureau in Washington. John?
Thanks, Andrew. The expression, a penny for your thoughts, soon could change as President Trump is looking to bring an end to the copper coin. CBN's Dale Hurd explains why and looks at the rest of the president's plan for the economy and spending cuts.
President Trump has signed more executive orders in 10 days than any of his predecessors, including Joe Biden, in their first 100 days. And in his quest to root out government waste, just about everything is on the table. Trump has even directed the Treasury to stop creating new pennies, calling the coin wasteful, saying it costs 2 cents to mint 1. And he's announced a new round of tariffs, this time on aluminum and steel.
Any steel coming into the United States is going to have a 25% tariff.
What about aluminum, sir?
Aluminum, too.
In a Fox News interview, Trump warned there are more spending cuts to come, with the goal of a $2 trillion reduction in government waste to be identified by Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, saying he trusts Musk despite Democratic criticisms.
Trust Elon? Oh, he's not gaining anything. In fact, I wonder how he can devote the time to it. He's so into it. But I told him do that. Then I'm going to tell him very soon, like maybe in 24 hours, to go check the Department of Education. He's going to find the same thing. Then I'm going to go to the military. Let's check the military.
Federal judges have temporarily blocked some of Trump's agenda, including his mass federal buyouts and the order putting USAID workers on leave.
We're going to see what happens. We have a long way to go. And we're talking about fraud, waste, abuse. And when a president can't look for fraud and waste and abuse, we don't have a country anymore. So we're very disappointed with the judges that would make such a ruling.
And Trump said again last night that Canada should join the United States.
I think Canada would be much better off being a 51st state because we lose $200 billion a year with Canada, and I'm not going to let that happen. It's too much. Why are we paying $200 billion a year, essentially in subsidy to Canada? Now, if they're a 51st state, I don't mind doing it.
A new poll by CBS shows voters giving Trump high marks, with some 60 to 70% describing him as tough, energetic, focused, and effective, with many saying he's doing more than they expected. Dale Hurd, CBN News.
All right, thank you, Dale. Well, turning now to the Super Bowl. The Philadelphia Eagles denying the Kansas City Chiefs a chance for a historic third straight win in the big game. The Eagles decisively beating the Chiefs, building up an enormous lead of 40-6 before Kansas City scored a couple of late touchdowns to make the final score 40-22. Philadelphia quarterback Jalen Hurts, who has long spoken about his Christian faith, said he looks at football as his calling.
This is what I'm called to do in this season of my life, and I'm going to give it all I have and try my best to leave no stone unturned.
Hurts was voted the most valuable player of the game, throwing for 2 touchdowns and scoring 1 himself. Well, CBN's Operation Blessing team is still working in Los Angeles, helping people hit by the recent massive wildfires. This weekend, hosting a supply distribution event and 2 family dances at Bel Air Church. The mother-son dance came first on Friday night, with moms and sons enjoying themselves. Then on Saturday, the father-daughter dance. Many of those who came were from Calvary Church in Pacific Palisades, which was destroyed in the fire that led to the cancellation of their annual dance. All of the proceeds from both dances will go directly to supporting the people who have been affected by the California fires. And Andrew, I have to believe that that dance meant even more to the families who were able to attend.
Oh, John, it means a lot to us just watching. As a dad, thinking of a daddy-daughter dance like that. We like to tell you what Operation Blessing is doing on the ground in various areas. They're still in the Los Angeles area. And there's a great example. It's not just humanitarian relief, but pulling our heartstrings emotionally there with moms and sons, daddies and daughters who were robbed of the opportunity to have a sweet dance like that. But Operation Blessing and partnering with churches, that's a big part of it. These groups say, let's do this for people. Let's give them life as normal and give them a special weekend. And if you've supported Operation Blessing or a CBN 700 Club partner, you've helped make that possible. To continue helping us on the ground with Operation Blessing, you can designate a gift to Operation Blessing specifically. You can call us at 800-700-7000. Go to the website, ob.org. You can text OBDR to 71777 and continue helping Operation Blessing on the ground in Los Angeles. Now, Terry, we had a Super Bowl last night. I think you were probably watching, right?
I did watch. What a shocking game, wasn't it?
It was very surprising. I don't think Eagle fans even expected that kind of beatdown.
I don't bet, but to those who do, that might have been not a very good evening.
Even people who were rooting against the Chiefs from the start for the last 2 weeks, I heard some people feeling sorry for them. They looked so dejected, and all the Chiefs really did well was, you know, hold down the Eagle running game, but it was a slaughter.
Well, it was, and I felt bad for Mahomes. I mean, he got sacked I don't know how many times. It was a lot.
Well, in that second quarter, I think you could really tell what was happening. He was sacked twice in a row. He was sacked a lot all night, and then he threw a pick six to a rookie who was celebrating his birthday, returns it for a touchdown. And then I think it was the third quarter. People think the Eagles are going to hand off to Saquon just to put some time off the clock. They throw a bomb downfield, another touchdown. It was quite a game, yeah.
It was well worth the watch.
It's hard to three-peat, though. I mean, for the Chiefs to do what they did, being in 3 straight, that's an accomplishment in itself.
Yes, absolutely. But it was an interesting game to watch. Felt bad for the Chiefs, but I was happy for the Eagles. I am. I kind of like the underdog myself, but
the underdog won.
The underdog won. I know. Hallelujah.